Title: The Airtag Stalker Who Always Knew Where She Was. The encounter. It began on a cold evening in late November of 2024 at the Walden Galleria Mall in Buffalo, New York. The holiday decorations were still being set up, the air filled with that artificial pine scent and looping Christmas music coming from overhead speakers. Most of the shoppers were already heading out, the mall closing soon. But Claire, 18 at the time, liked to stay until the crowds thinned out. She said it felt peaceful, like the world slowed down. She was carrying 3 shopping bags: Sephora, Victoria's Secret, and Zara, when she sat down near the tall Christmas tree the mall put up every year. The single bench nearby was nearly empty, except for an older man who sat down beside her. He had a white beard, wire-rimmed glasses, and a faintly tired, gentle smile. Something about him seemed familiar. Not personally, just familiar in the way some kinds of men are. He made a small joke about the Christmas rush. She laughed politely. He told her he'd been coming to the mall for decades, that he used to take his daughter here when she was her age. Then he showed a picture of the daughter on his phone. Claire remembered the moment clearly. The girl in the picture didn't look like him at all. Not the same eyes, jawline, coloring, nothing. And something about the picture itself felt old, like it wasn't taken recently. Still, he seemed harmless. Just lonely. When she left, she didn't look back. The drive home was only 10 minutes. The cul-de-sac her family lived in curled around a patch of trees in the center, a quiet, upscale neighborhood, the type where porch lights turn on automatically at sunset. That's when her phone buzzed. Airtag found moving with you. Her stomach dropped. Claire didn't own an Airtag. She immediately pulled away from her house instead of turning in. Her mind raced. She forced the device to play sound. The beeping came, not from outside the car, but from inside one of the shopping bags in the back seat. Sephora. She reached into the bag and felt something cold and round. An Airtag. Not hers. Her hands shook violently. She rolled down the window and threw it as far as she could into the dark. Only then did she finally go home. Inside, she locked the doors, turned on every light, and called her brother. He was out drinking but told her to call if anything happened. She tried to calm down in the living room. Then the doorbell rang. 1 chime, followed by 3 slow, deliberate knocks. Her breath caught in her chest. She moved toward the door silently, just close enough to hear a man's voice. "Hey, Ashley. I think you might have my Airtag." Her name wasn't Ashley. Her blood ran cold. The voice was familiar. The tone, casual, almost smiling. The man from the mall. She didn't reply. She didn't move. He spoke again, quieter this time. "You have something that belongs to me." Claire could see his silhouette through the textured glass, the outline of his head tilted, watching. Waiting. She called her brother again. He said he was coming home now. She peeked back at the door. The silhouette was gone. The silence felt crushing. She tried turning on the TV to drown the dread. A whisper from the window behind her. "I love it when they pretend they don't know." His face was pressed against the glass. Smiling. Watching her. Her scream never fully made it out. It collapsed into a breath. She hid in the office with no windows until her brother arrived. When they checked the yard, the man was gone. The police found nothing. No footprints. No car. Nothing to prove he had ever been there. But Claire knew what she had seen. And he knew where she lived. And worse, he knew her name. The window that should have been locked. Detective Mara Ellis stood in Karen Johnson's living room, scanning every detail with the slow, disciplined calm of someone who had seen too many scenes like this, and who knew one small detail could make or break a case. The house was quiet. Too quiet. A coffee mug still sat on the dining table, halfway full. Karen's favorite light blue sweater was draped over a chair. A phone charger hung loosely from the wall, as if someone had yanked the phone away in a hurry. Nothing was broken, but everything felt interrupted. Mara walked toward the back hallway, where a single narrow window overlooked the driveway. The glass was spotless, but the latch was unhooked. Her jaw tightened. Karen was careful. Karen locked her windows. Karen reminded everyone to lock their windows. This one should not have been open. Mara bent close, scanning the sill, and saw it. A faint smudge. Not dirt. Not dust. Something like glove material. Synthetic. Almost invisible. Someone had opened this window from the outside. She exhaled sharply, her voice low. So you didn't just walk out, Karen? Meanwhile, across town, Evan, Karen's younger brother, sat in the police lobby. His leg bounced with sharp, nervous energy. He held a paper cup of cold coffee but wasn't drinking it. His mind replayed their last conversation from 2 nights ago. Evan, don't worry. I'll call you when the meeting's done. I'm okay. Really? She didn't sound okay. But Evan had told himself she was just stressed. Work, bills, life. Now he was wishing he had listened to the tone behind her words. The kind of tone you only hear when you know someone's heart like your own. The lobby door opened. Detective Mara stepped out. Evan, she said softly, I need to ask you some questions about Karen's recent days. People she talked to. Anyone new. Evan swallowed hard. There was someone, he said. He came to the cafe where she works. More than once. She didn't know his name. But she said, he stared at her. Like he knew her. Mara's eyes sharpened. Did she describe him? Evan nodded slowly. Blue jacket. Dark baseball cap. Always sat by the window. Never ordered anything. Just watched. Mara didn't move. Didn't blink. This was how it started. Not with a break-in. Not with a scream. But with someone who watched too long. Back at Karen's house, Mara made one more pass through the living room, and something stopped her. On the bookshelf, between photo frames and travel souvenirs, was a single business card that didn't fit. Black background. No name. No number. Just one phrase, printed in silver letters. We need to talk. Mara stared at it, feeling the chill settle in her chest. This wasn't random. This wasn't accidental. Someone wanted Karen. Someone had planned this. And they weren't finished. The man in the blue jacket. The cafe where Karen worked sat on a quiet corner of Maple Street. Warm lights, wood tables, the soft hum of espresso machines. It should have felt comforting. But when Detective Mara Ellis stepped inside, it felt heavy, like the air itself remembered what happened here. A young barista with copper braids recognized Evan first and rushed to him. Evan, I'm so sorry. We've all been worried. Evan tried to respond, but the words stuck somewhere behind his ribs. Mara gently stepped forward. I'm Detective Ellis, she said, voice calm but firm. I need to ask about a man who came here. Blue jacket. Dark cap. Sat near the windows. Do you remember him? The barista's eyes widened, not with confusion, but recognition. Yeah, we all noticed him. She hesitated. We called him the Watcher. Mara and Evan exchanged a look. Describe him, Mara said. The barista nodded slowly. He always came right before closing. Sat at the same table every time, the one where Karen worked the register. Never ordered. Never spoke. Just watched. Not blinking much. Like he was studying her. Evan's hands curled into fists. Did Karen talk to him? The barista shook her head. No. But one night, she found something. She reached under the counter and pulled out a folded piece of paper, edges slightly worn. She gave this to me and told me to keep it, in case something ever happened. Mara's breath tightened. The barista placed the paper on the counter. Mara unfolded it. Just like the business card at the house. It was simple. Black ink. Clean handwriting. No name. You know why I'm here. Mara felt the room fall silent around her. This wasn't random admiration. This was premeditated obsession. Outside, the afternoon sky hung gray and low. Evan leaned against the brick wall, hands shaking. She told me someone was watching her, he whispered. I told her to ignore it. I told her people are weird but harmless. God, why didn't I? Mara stopped him, her voice steady. Listen. This is not your fault. Whoever did this has done it before. This is a pattern. A method. You couldn't have known. But even as she said the words, something cold pressed against her own thoughts. Because she had seen this pattern. Not here. Not in this city. But in another case. One that ended badly. A missing woman. No forced entry. A stalker who left messages instead of threats. The case that still kept her awake at night. She exhaled slowly. If this was the same man, then they were already working against time. Mara turned to Evan. "We'll find her," she said. Not softly, not gently, as a promise. Evan searched her eyes and believed her. Later that night, at the precinct, Mara pinned the business card and the note to the investigation board. Photos of Karen. The window latch. A map. But something was missing. Mara stared at the cafe's security camera feed. She had requested footage from the last few weeks. Hours of it. Faces, customers, wait times, door chimes, movements. She fast-forwarded until something made her freeze. There he was. Blue jacket, black cap. He didn't just look at Karen. He looked directly at the security camera, like he knew it was there, like he wanted to be seen. Mara leaned closer, and as he lifted his head slightly, the camera caught it. A scar along his jaw. Thin, precise, surgical. Mara's breath stopped. She knew that scar. She knew exactly who he was. And if she was right, Karen wasn't just missing. She was running out of time.